So guys, we've just crossed from Peters Hall into Providence. That's the East Bank Public Road looking east, looking north to Georgetown. And the next village over is Peters Hall. And we're here that's Ramada Inn. We're at Providence. That's the Ramada Inn. And this is the billboard for the new Demerara River Bridge. Where we are right now is here. We're at this section of the bridge. Let's see, we're about five of those gaps to the bridge. This is the public road, the East Bank Public Road, which we're standing on right now. That's looking south on the East Bank Public Road. And this is what the bridge looks like from Providence. Now, these are the gaps that need to be filled. There are about 5 more of them to get to the bridge, to get to the riverbank. And I'm estimating that about 5 weeks, that's about 5 weeks of work to get to that pillar. So those pillars are at the river bank, and those gaps have to be filled. These are the ones that have been filled since the last time we were here. There's that half of a gap has been filled. Over here, that one was filled in the week since we were last here, and these two were filled the last time we were here. So the last time we were here, these 2 gaps were about to be filled. They were 1.5 filled. This is what the bridge looks like from Providence. This is how close it is to the hotel. And I've discussed that in previous videos, how that could be a problem. We'll inspect again in the future. So the bridge is moving. That is, the ramp section is being completed. About 1 gap. They're closing one of these gaps between the pillars every week. And that tells me that we're about 5 weeks away from getting to the riverbank, Demerara Riverbank. But they've already started to add the cables. This is a cable-stayed bridge. And I can already see that they've started to add cables. Now let me see if I can show you what that looks like in this video. So if you zoom in on the platform and the tower, so that's the tower at the riverbank. Last time I was here, I assumed that they were finished, they were not going to go any higher, but now I think they're still building that tower taller. But as you go down the tower, you can see there are white cables. I guess they're not so clear in the video, but from what I can see in real life, they've started to add those cables to the bridge. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and you can see there are men already working on the pillars, that those towers that have to be built, and they're on top of the ramp. There are already men working on the bridge using that machine to fill the gap, laying those concrete beams. This is what the bridge ramp looks like on a Monday morning. It's now the 4th of March 2025. 4th of May 2025. Tomorrow Cinco de Mayo, and May 1st in Guyana was a national holiday, Labor Day. So we're in the rainy season. Guyana Louisiana has 2 rainy seasons and 2 dry seasons each year. We're in the second or the first rainy season, the May-June rains. And so it's been raining every day, as it does in rainy season, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. And we've just witnessed one of those rain showers, waited it out, and now we can see what the bridge looks like. The bridge ramp looks like from Providence. See, there's some pools of water on the ground from the rain. It fell about half an hour ago. And that's the Princess Hotel. You can see that's Fun City. They have a entertainment center in the casino and a cinema, I believe. One of the outlets for Caribbean cinemas is here at the Princess Casino. But this is what we're looking at. This is what the bridge looks like from Providence. Now you can get a lateral, a side view of how much distance still has to be covered. It seems as if the last pillar that's still being worked on, that pillar, is going to be about 2 or 3 times the distance between the other pillars from the bridge. And so it'll be interesting to see how they fill that gap. They're already working on the bridge from the west side, that is from the other side of the river. I haven't really shown the bridge from the other side of the river in previous videos. We're going to get to that later on, but I'm sure other people have been showing that in their videos. We're going to get to see, as the bridge gets completed, how they join the west side and the east side of the river shortly. But yeah, this is what it looks like on the east side. Now you can see the first 2 pillars in the river. This is the high span. I refer to this as the high span section of the bridge. Those 2 pillars are already begun. You can see in this view the cables. So they've already begun to string the cables from the towers to the platforms. And those 2 pillars will hold the bridge up high enough so that ships can get under. And of course that is over the deepest part of the river, which is not in the center of the river, it's actually closer to the east bank. But yeah, this is what's happening here, guys. This is what is happening at the Demerara River Bridge, and they've made significant progress since the last time we were here. In other words, they're advanced beyond the overpass section. Remember, about a month ago we saw them completing the overpass section, and now they've completed at least 4 gaps, still 4 gaps beyond the overpass section. 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps, and they're working on the 5th one, and they have another 5. So my guess is that another 5 weeks they will close the gap between where we are now and the riverbank. But that's what's happening here. Now the access road extends all the way to Heroes Highway, and that's about 2 miles in this direction, 2 miles east of where we are. In that direction, we're looking along Red Road. So this is Red Road, and 2 miles in that direction the access road runs. This is the intersection with the Red Road and Public Road. And that's what it looks like. The bridge, that is, looks like from this vantage point. So what is going to happen, from what I can glean so far, is that bridge traffic will be funneled away from the East Bank Public Road, 2 miles east of this location. And it means that if you want to get onto the bridge, you are going to have to drive east of the East Bank Public Road for about 2 miles to join the bridge, which is a kind of unusual arrangement, because it puts all that traffic through a new neighborhood, a new housing division that is being built by the Ahmad brothers, the sheriff group, and a number of other people, including Baldeo, who built the Richmond estate between here and the bridge, between here and the Public Road. It's going to put a whole lot of traffic through that neighborhood that runs beside the bridge. The access road runs beside Windsor Estates, that Windsor Estate complex of housing development. So it's going to put a lot of traffic through that neighborhood, and that, I think, represents for me poor planning. But we're going to deal with that issue, the issue of planning, in future. But here's what is happening. This is the Amazonia Mall. So we're back at Amazonia Mall. We're standing in the parking lot section of the mall. That's Starbucks. And the mall over to the west, or rather south, that's the National Stadium, cricket stadium. They're actually building another one of these in Berbice. We're eventually going to get to that. Take a look. But this is what it looks like from the this is what the bridge looks like from the parking lot of the Amazonia Mall. You can see the pillars, those towers that are going to support the high span section of the bridge. You can see the platform. There's somebody, I guess, working on welding, flashes of light. It's coming from a welding torch. You can see the cables that are now being added, and you can see the bridge ramp. They're still working on the ramp towards the platform on the high section. And behind the hotel, these two hotels, is the ramp that gets down to ground level in about a quarter of a mile, and then another 2 miles out to the east, where it meets up with the Heroes Highway. But that's what it looks like in this neck of the woods. I'm going to bring you further updates as time goes by, and especially of the access road and the entrance ramp. But that's what's up here, guys. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about the progress on this new Demerara River Bridge. As you know, it's now costing about $260 million, but I'm pretty sure that's not the end of the story. My guess is they're gonna actually have to add about as much, another $260 million US to complete this bridge, because of all the additional work, ancillary and accessory work that has to be done to complete the bridge, like the access roads, the ramps, and the engineering that's going into the intersection on both sides, intersection with the highway at the entrance to the bridge. But that's my view. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Tell me what you think about this, the progress on this bridge in the comments below. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later.